Hi everybody, Nerdity Absurdity here, coming at you with another action figure review. Today we're taking a look at Marvel Legends Amazing Fantasy Spider-Man, the first appearance Spider-Man that's been released for Spider-Man's 60th anniversary. Now, I'm going to do this a little bit differently because just spoiler alert, I was very disappointed with this figure. I am very disappointed with this figure, and I've recorded this movie or this video a couple of times before. It came out a lot more vitriolic than I wanted to. I was very upset at the time. I've had a little bit of time to cool down, so now this will be done in the spirit of constructive criticism. This is my basically instructions to Hasbro Marvel Legends of what not to do, and this figure is a chief example of that. So the experience with this figure comes first and foremost when you get him out the package. I think I opened it from this side. Yeah, here we go. See a little bit of the artwork around the side there, and of course the 60th Spider-Man logo. There's promotional shots. I don't know if these are 3D scans or if they are actually the action figure. I know a lot of them are 3D scans because, of course, you'll see pinless tech on the figure from the 3D scan, and then you open the box, and then guess what? Pins. That's been happening for a lot of the figures. Not this one, fortunately, but the experience happens when you open them out the box. And I gotta say, this box is a big cause for concern. Even when I bought it, because it's a windowless packaging, I talked to the retailer about it, asked them if any of these had been returned because people have been swapping the figures in and out. They showed me the cardboard sleeve of these packages, not even got off the truck, so I trusted that retailer, and indeed, this came with Spider-Man. Now, he comes in this, kind of entombed, in this kind of packaging. It's really weird when you get him out the box, and he's basically sealed up here. So opening it up, there's a cool factor like, oh, it's like an electronic where you're peeling off the seal and you expect it to be direct from the factory and pristine. Well, he is direct from the factory, but he is not pristine. There's a lot of problems with this figure. Well, first of all, let's continue talking about the packaging. So this packaging is done because it's apparently more environmentally friendly than windowless packaging. That's a lie. That's an obvious lie, and I'll tell you why. Because this right here, that is not recyclable. There's no way you can tell me, maybe if you ground that down into mulch or something like that, but as far as I know, especially this plastic, are you telling me that's recyclable? That a sea turtle is going to be fine eating that? No way. No siree, Jose. So that's the first problem with the packaging. Yeah, we'll just talk for the packaging now, because that's a big point of contention. And I want to tell you another reason why it's not environmentally friendly. Take a look at my friend Rhino here, this big beefy boy. So you notice something about Rhino? First, you can see the figure, so as a consumer, you can say, hey, this is a good figure. I like the paint on it. I like the way it looks in the package. It's got that pick-me-up-and-buy-me thing. You don't get any pick-me-up-and-buy-me with this because you have no idea what the figure looks like. It's an ugly box. I don't display my figures in package, but looking at this, I completely get why you did. You could just leave this in the package and he would look awesome. This is a piece of art. This is not. This is a box, and a kind of a weird-shaped box at that one. At least give us a square box so we can stack it. Come on, man. But anyways, look at this. You want to talk about environmentally friendly? What's more environmentally friendly than giving people a package in which they can store their figure? There's a place for the figure. There's a place for the accessories he comes with. He looks good in it. I keep a lot of my boxes, even though I have other display options, because sometimes some of my figure parts I keep in their original box. So it's all together because there's space for all of that. So guess what happens when you do that? You don't throw the box out. It's environmentally friendly. It gets reused. It's stayed in use. This, there's nothing to do with it but throw it out. And this is garbage. This is not recyclable. This is garbage. So that's a big point in its favor. I think the only reason they're doing this is because of cost, and it's hurting consumers. You can't see what you're getting. You don't have a nice place to store your figure. You mint on card people. Marvel Legends does not care about you. I'm sorry, but they don't care about you because nobody is displaying this. If you are, I have no idea why you would display this. There is nothing aesthetically appeasing. It's a promo shot of the figure. It's not even artwork. What is this? So the box... big problem off the bat. Yeah, do you see Buddy's got big white dot in the middle of his head. You see that there? That's something where if I saw it in a windowed packaging, I would probably say, oh, I'm not going to buy this figure. I'm going to buy another one. It's not even that the paint is missing. It's that there's a big white dot in the middle of his head. The web, like in the middle of his face. That's the thing about the figure that you look at. But there's so many other imperfections all over. There's like right there on the pec. There's some erroneous paint. There's a dab of a brush. There's rub on the underside of the arm. You can see that this is a brand new figure. I just got him out of the packaging. There's other things here too. At the waist, you can see there's rub going on there a little bit. There's a whole bunch of dings and scratches. Yeah. So here's the problem with windowless packaging. Those QC issues, even when he comes wrapped in his factory plastic like that, those QC issues still exist, and as a consumer, you can't see them. He had other problems too. His hand had a little bit of shaving on it. I had to get it off with an X-Acto knife, one of his hands, and that messed up the web line. I will say some positives about the figure. I do kind of like the overall appearance of him. He's nothing special. He's very similar to Spider-Man Bucks we've seen before. Of course, it's a bit different with the windowless the pinless tech. But, you know, the web lines are very nice. I like the dark colors, even though it doesn't look exactly like Spider-Man's first appearance. Look, he looks a little bit different there, especially with the eyes. I like this stylized interpretation of the character. That's really good. So the overall look is pretty good. The articulation is pretty good. What you'd expect of a Spider-Man figure, double-jointed elbows and legs, a little bit of stiffness in the shoulders. Oh, here's another thing against the pinless tech. Look at that arm right there. So, yeah, the pinless tech, the thing people don't like about it is, so suppose there was a pin right there. That would probably be the color of the joint underneath. It would probably be blue and make it look very much like a toy. But then you get this part in here, which isn't colored at all. So it's the same problem when you have the pin tech. The colors don't match. Care was not been taken to the paint work on this. For the most part, the web lines are pretty good. There's sloppiness here and there. There's paint rub. There's spots where paint and detail is just missing. So there's a lot of QC issues with this Spider-Man, although he does flex pretty nicely. He doesn't have the toe pivot. Announced at the same time as this figure was the Renew Your Vows Spider-Man, which I still have on pre-order, still waiting for. And that did have an articulated toe. You know, every Marvel, every McFarlane figure comes with an articulated toe, whether that makes sense or not. Oh, you can even see this web line is just completely gone. It's supposed to come around the side. You see a little dot there? You see there? It's just completely gone. It's either a missing web line or it's just erroneous paint. I don't know. It's really bad when you can't tell. But yeah, a lot of sloppy paint work on this figure, where there's just no excuse for that. Now let's take a look at the accessories. The accessories are ho-hum to what the heck were they thinking? First, we got this web line. This web line is actually pretty good. I like the translucency of it. He holds it pretty well. You know, he's holding his web line. He's not whipping it. But, you know, you do have a good number of hands for Spider-Man. So he comes with 3 additional hands, and I'm not going to say I don't like that. I think Spider-Man having lots of hands is a good thing. Again, there was a little bit of a ding on one of them that I had to get off with the X-Acto knife. Again, paint lines are generally pretty good. But then you have these things, and this came in similar packaging to this came in like this material as well. These were all wrapped up. Then you have these web wings here, and these are wonky as heck. So every time I try to do this on camera, it kind of comes out a little weird. But this one is supposed to... You see the big ugly hole in the arm? So that's a thing. You got rid of the pins, but there's a big ugly hole in the arm. What is that for? Well, that's to hold these web wings. But as you'll see, that's a problem right now because you won't ever really want to use these web wings. So there we go. It's... Whoop! That's a problem with them. They pop right off if you breathe on them. But... yeah, we have this web wing here. We just get it in the side. Wow. Every time I try to do this, it just is fiddly as heck. This is typical of the experience using this. Yeah, so it slots around the side like that. That looks fairly like it does on the box here somewhere. Yeah, he's got his arms out. You can kind of see that that comparison there. It's kind of what it's supposed to look like. It's really weird. It's gappy. You can see through it. Like you can see through it right there as I'm doing that. See through the figure. And it's weird because you look around the back. It looks like a weird kind of butterfly wing or something like that. Maybe I just don't have it in right, but this is the only way it really seems to work. And again, you try to adjust it at all, it pops right up. The folded wing is maybe a little bit better. I'm trying to figure what is the this goes around, I believe the long part goes around the side like that. So this is probably supposed to be over here. Yeah, look at that. Look at that scuff there. That's really not happy. There's a reason why I'm being so scrutinous of a figure that's a 6-inch figure like this, a 6-inch Spider-Man figure, and I'll get into that in a minute. Drop this web wing. These are so fiddly. They're so very fiddly. They're very, very frustrating to get working. That's not even right. That's not even correct. Yeah, getting these working is a pain. Not even in there. So it folds in like that. Yeah. So this is the way it's supposed to be. It takes half a minute to, you know, get this in right. Yeah. So that's with his arm closed. The wing is kind of folded underneath. Again, it's not snug. You can see it in there. It pops off without the slightest provocation. You know, it's supposed to be, his arm's down or whatever. I'm not even going to bother putting that back in. You can see how easily it comes off. But that's the thing. You won't ever really want to display him like that because it's so fiddly. But when you do that, you get these big old holes in the arms. So it's a really wonky design. I can't believe they couldn't come up with anything better. Spider-Man first appearance 60th anniversary. Do something cool. Put wire in there. Put cloth. Put something. Anything else. Or just don't even have that underarm webbing. Like, I can get the impetus to have it, but honestly, I kind of wish they had just made, you know, a better figure. Give us an extra head or something like that. Give us some more web line, you know, anything. But this is vestigial. You can't use this. It's so unfunctional because it only works in specific poses. It doesn't even look that good. There's still gappage in it, and it's you know, it's not that great. It doesn't even look like, it looks more like a again a wasp wing or something like that than a piece of web. So like, I don't know, maybe if they had like colored those lines or something, but we know they're not doing good in terms of paintwork. So yeah, why am I scrutinizing this figure so much? Why am I being too hard on Spider-Man here? Am I being too difficult with Spider-Man here? Well, honestly, I'm not. And the reason why I'm not is it's very, very simple. And it's because I paid $45 for this figure at a convention. I paid $45 for him. And yeah, it's just not okay. It's not okay to have these kind of QC issues, which I can't even check because of the windowless packaging. $45 for a 6-inch figure. That's just not great. That just doesn't fly. Spider-Man's not flying now here either. I had him posed up before. Pretty cool, actually, but I'll be fair, this stand isn't made for him. It's a Revoltech stand for my Iron Man and War Machine figures. Use this, so it's a little bit bigger. But yeah, I mean, he's okay like that, I suppose. Would have been really nice to have one thing I don't mind is a hole in the back. Then you can fit him on a stand. Why couldn't we have gotten Spider-Man with a stand? Put the hole in the back, put him on the stand. I'm never going to have Spider-Man not swinging through the air. And even if I didn't, you know, the figure's facing the front, so that kind of a hole wouldn't have been a problem. That would have been a much better design choice. That took me all of 5 seconds to come up with that. A hole in the back of the figure. What a revolution. But anyway, yeah. So the reason why I'm being so hard on Spider-Man here is because Spider-Man cost $45, and he's a 6-inch figure. He's a regular 6-inch figure. This isn't deluxe. He comes with extra hands, which I would argue Spider-Man should always come with anyway. I mean, he's got 4 options there, so that's something. But these accessories certainly don't make this a $45 figure. This accessory doesn't. So what does? The new paint job on a buck we've basically seen before. We have Spider-Man figures that look like this. that are very similar to this. The only thing really is the pinless tech, which doesn't even really matter because, again, you still have the same issues you have with color bleed through and pinless tech with the weird articulation of the arms, how that's painted, and of course the giant hole in his bicep. Spider-Man, I think you need to go to the hospital, dude. There's a hole in your arm. So yeah, that's why I'm being hard on this figure. Here's another reason why I'm being hard on this figure. So $45 at a convention, $45 Canadian, but still, I expect maybe $30 max for a 6-inch figure like this. You're not getting that much plastic. It's not that much different than other Spider-Man figures we've seen before. Here's what I got for $5 more at the exact same convention. And I want to say, like, I think that price is probably pretty good. I think Spider-Man is probably going for a lot more other places where you would get him. I can see those prices inflating a lot for this particular figure. Here's what I got for $5 more at a convention. We've seen him before. It's Rhino. Compare those two. $5 price difference. $5, you get a whole bunch of accessories, an extra head, so much plastic, so much detailed plastic, beautiful packaging in which you can store him, display him, and most importantly for the consumer, see what he looks like before you buy him. I didn't have that option with this figure. So, yeah, it's same company. Same company. Same building, I got him. I think there were places that were selling him for, I think $65 I saw at the high end for this figure. I was able to get him at another place for $50. But, I mean, like, still, that's way better value. At $45? Really? $45? I don't even care that that's Canadian, you know. You're just, that's too much. That is too much. I got that Azrael figure from McFarlane Toys. You know, that detailed figure with the flaming sword and that flamboyant cape. All of that detail. He's a big 7-inch chunk of a figure, right? I got that for $20 at a GameStop. But this figure is $45. Because it's, I don't know, I guess it's Spider-Man. And because Hasbro has been hiking the price. So yeah, Hasbro Marvel Legends, I'm done with you, man. I'm just like, this is not okay. This is not okay. Not when you've been doing that. This is not okay. There is nothing consumer friendly about this product. You can't see the product. It's prone to figure swapping. It's prone to QC issues, a whole bunch of QC issues. It's prone to just getting away with bad and bizarre design choices. I like how his foot is flipped back there. His foot is broken, but I'm kind of digging that. You know, it's not okay to sell people a figure like this at this point. And I don't blame the independent retailer that I got it from for selling it to me at that price. They're probably selling it at a loss or a lot less than they could have made at it because, you know, Hasbro takes so much of that margin and basically dictates that price to small retailers. Small retailers don't make a lot on their figures. That's something that we have to remember. So we gotta, they really help us with the hobby. I see them at the conventions all the time, and they're taking their hits, and they're giving things at a discount, and they're negotiating. So, you know, be kind to your small retailer. They're really what makes this hobby possible. I think for a lot of people, certainly for people like me, and certainly for people who are wanting to get some rare figures as well. You know, just regular people, not a large company. So, yeah. So be kind to your small retailers is the takeaway, but Hasbro, you need to stop this. You need to stop the insane price hikes. You need to stop the consumer unfriendly practices. You need to stop the frickin' HasLab. I'm not the first person who said that, but that Ghost Rider, that should just be a figure. That should just be a figure that you're releasing. Why are you charging, what is it, like $250 American, $300, something like that for that figure? Oh, it comes with a car. You know, it lights up, doesn't even make sounds, isn't radio controlled, you know, nothing. Got a couple of flame effects. Does it even have an alternate head? I don't even think it has an alternate head. I don't know because I don't really care that much about the figure. I don't care about freaking HasLab because they can't even get their consumer products right. They can't even finish lines, you know? There's a whole bunch of collectors where they're like, oh, I want my X-Force or whatever. And they never finish the line. Or they do, like, 20 years later. It's like, what? What are you doing? What are you doing, Hasbro Marvel Legends? I don't know. You're price gouging. That's what it is. You're price gouging. You're doing things that are consumer unfriendly. Is this really that much more money to have a plastic casing? Again, it's not more environmentally friendly. It's not more consumer friendly. It gets rid of a place where you can store your figure. This is a perfect option for storing the figure. You have this plastic case. If you don't have another option for storing your figure's accessories, you'll want to use that. Heck, you'll want to use this just because it's... I keep these around even if I don't always display them because they look so good. They do look good for display options. I display the packages that my figures come in and the figures in front of it because this is art. This is a piece of art. It absolutely is. This is a piece of... We're trying to gouge the consumer and all we care about is the bottom line and we don't care about you who are invested in this hobby, giving you a good experience, nuts to you. I'm being very polite here. You should have seen how unrestrained I was in my other videos. But yeah, Hasbro Marvel Legends, get it together. You're already pricing some collectors out of the market. You're already pricing some people who are longtime fans out of the market with your insane price hikes. There is no reason for this. This is ridiculous. All because you want to get your... I get you have a commitment to your shareholders. Yeah. But if you don't uphold your commitment to your consumers first... then you're going to lose them. You're going to lose their business. Hasbro Marvel Legends should not be a high-end toy. They're charging high-end prices for it. You are not getting high-end quality for this. You're not. You're not. You're not getting the same experience you get with one of those giant 7-inch Diamond Select figures. Remember, Diamond Select sold a version of Rhino bigger than this with a better paint design. Diamond Select has amazing paint design. I'm going to say that again and again. For, I think it was like $45 when it came out. It's more expensive now, but I've seen it some places for $70 for that figure, where this figure can go some places for $65 for a bigger figure with better paint. So, better paint design at the very least. Their applications are sometimes... I haven't had that figure in hand. Sometimes their applications aren't on point. But, sometimes they really are. But the paint design is always amazing. Hasbro paint designs are very... There's 2 colors on this figure. 3, sorry. White in the eyes. There's this color here. And there's the red. I don't really see any color differentiation with the red. There's also the white where the flaw is. But, whatever. It's very simple. And we know they can't do shading because they've tried it with the cell shading for the animated figures approach, and it looks like garbage. Because, clearly they don't care about the paint apps that much. Even here, I'm seeing little details that are just bad, are just sloppy. No excuse for that when I'm getting a 6-inch figure and I'm paying $45 for it. There is no excuse, Hasbro. This is shoddy. This is shoddy workmanship. It's shoddy packaging. It's price gouging. It's consumer unfriendly. This is bad. This is bad. And you know what? If this continues, if they continue these practices, if they don't go back to the windowed packaging, just go back to the windowed packaging. Just say, okay, we experimented with something. It didn't work. We goofed. Sorry. People will love you for that. I mean, that's what you do. Bring the prices down. Make them more reasonable. Put a little more effort into your paint and quality control. Don't gouge people on figures. Stop the stupid HasLab, because HasLab is dumb. It shouldn't exist. You're a giant corporation. You don't need to kickstart your action figures. You could just release that. Stop with this stupid... They've been doing this stuff with the stupid, we're going to sell this as like a 3-pack for $100, and then they release it later. Oh, but yeah, you can get the figure individually. People have already pre-ordered that. What are you doing? And then when they don't pre-order that in the numbers that you like, we're going to release that as singles. Just release them as singles. What if I just want Mojo? What if I don't want to get that 3-pack? Well, I guess I have the option now, but I didn't before. If I had pre-ordered that, then I would have been, SOL. So, yeah, very, very consumer unfriendly company right now. Very not happy with it. And here's the thing. I love Spider-Man. I love Spider-Man. I love the X-Men. I love the Avengers. I love a lot of these characters. And I just want to see them treated better. Spider-Man's first appearance on his 60th anniversary deserved better than this. He deserved a lot better than what we got. And, for $20, I wouldn't be complaining about this figure so much. This is a $20 figure. I know they usually go for 30, or they have been for a while, the 6-inch regular Marvel Legends. But I'm saying right now, this is a $20 figure, or that's what it should be. So yeah, very disappointed. I have plenty of other Spider-Man. I'm a big Spider-Man collector. He's a big part of my collection. Is my Spider-Man display where I have many different versions of Spider-Man because he's so cool. I love having different versions of him, and I was really excited to get a first appearance version. But you know what? This figure, I'm just not about it. The quality is not there. The customer friendliness is not there. The environmentalism isn't there. Nothing is there that warrants this figure at this price. So, yeah, I think that's me. Um, I don't, and here's the thing too. I see these figures as being very simple. The Marvel Legends line. There's a lot of reuse. A lot of the paint is very simplistic. A lot of the changes between figures. Oh, we swapped a head. We added a jacket. Whatever. You're not getting a lot in terms of that. I like how Rhino is just standing behind, basically kind of upstaging Spider-Man in this whole shot, because that's really what it is. This is how you do it better, at least. I think maybe you could do it, bring the price down. That would probably be ideal. But I mean, this is at least 50. I don't feel so bad about spending $50 for this figure. I feel like, yeah, that's all right. Especially when a $45 figure gives me so little. I'm at least getting bang for my buck here, but not here. This is not okay. This is not okay. Until you fix your problems, Hasbro Marvel Legends, this line is dead. Okay, that's all from me, everybody. Thank you.